Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. Hey guys, it's the day before Nationals. I have to say, I am so excited for Nationals tomorrow. US Nationals, that is. I feel like I've put in so much time and practice for this. You know, honestly, like I can't remember the last time I put in this much practice and prep for a big event. I'm so excited. I'm really hoping that all mine and my team's hard work and time pays off. You know, we're playing Lexi tomorrow, and it's a very exciting feeling. One, I've really enjoyed being in Vegas the last couple of days. I love Vegas. Vegas is so much fun. You know, Curly and I always have a good time when we're in Vegas. It's a lot of fun to be there, and we've hung out with all of our friends. But I'm gonna break down mine and my team's Lexi deck. You know, I'm going to be honest, I've always been very open with you guys and said, you know, I'm not really here to hide anything. I'm not one of those people that, you know, believes in doing like all this fake testing, and showing you guys these fake results that we don't care about, you know. So I'm a big proponent of showing you guys what I've learned and what I think is going to do well. And so I'm going to show you guys what is more than likely going to be my exact 80 card list going into tomorrow. And I'm going to break it down a little bit here. I'm not going to go super in depth because you can find the link in the description below. And then you can also find in that description, you'll find a link, and it has my list, it has my matchups, it has everything inside of it, everything that we're looking to play against at Nationals. So again, I just want to say how excited I am that Nationals is finally here, and that I hope everybody has a great weekend. Whether you're playing in US Nats or anywhere in the world, I hope everybody has a fun time. Even if you're just watching coverage is a lot of fun, and I know that there are a lot of people who really go out of their way to make sure that coverage is a ton of fun for everybody. So I really hope everybody has a great Nationals weekend. And if you see me over the weekend, please come say hi to me. I'd love to meet you guys. I'd love to say hi to you guys. I've met so many cool people streaming over the last, doing Flesh and Blood over the last year and a half really has been so much fun for me. And I've just met so many cool people in the community. So if you see me this weekend, please come say hi to me. But without further ado, let's jump into the Lexi deck. All right, guys, so here it is. This is our Lexi deck. This is what I'm going to be playing in Nats. This is what I'm so excited about. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video that you're pretty familiar with Classic Constructed as a whole, and that you're kind of familiar with Lexi. If you're not, be sure to ask me any questions that you feel like I didn't really go over in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. So I'm going to start up at the top. We're running Hornet Sting, New Horizon, Snapdragon Scalers, Trench, Voltaire, and Quiver. These are all the equipment slots that we have in. We have a couple of equipment slots down here at the bottom. We also have Perch Grapplers and Null Rune Gloves. We do play Perch Grapplers in more matchups than we do Snapdragon Scalers by far. New Horizons feels like really the only headpiece that you want to be on. Hornet Sting paired with Null Rune Gloves is what we're looking at for arms. And then Trench, we ended up cutting Tunic from our list because we don't think that you need it. We think that Trench is good enough by itself, even in the aggro matchups. So that's kind of where we're at. Right now, we are on 17 blues in our main deck. Those consist of 3 blue Bolt Shot, 1 blue Drill Shot, 3 blue Infecting Shot, 3 blue Searing Shot. Then we have 3 Frostlock and 3 blue Winter's Bite. And then the sideboard, we have 1 more blue Drill Shot, so we can go up to 17 blues if we need to be able to. Just kind of where we're at right now and what we're looking at. So 17 blues feels pretty good overall as a whole to us. Run all the Bolton Shots. Bolton Shot is very good in a lot of matchups. Gives you potential to have a 3-arrow hand if you don't have anything in your arsenal. Also allows you to reload and throw 3 arrows and kill some dragons in the draw by matchup if you need to. So that's pretty good. Drill Shot looks to be very good against Bravo, Azuri, things that are looking to block quite a bit. Drill Shot kind of helps lure out some of that equipment earlier in the game. Rampart's not really a thing anymore, so you're not looking to lightning press a Drill Shot and blow your Oldhim opponent out. But Drill Shot can help you get some equipment out pretty early. Endless Arrow, great card. This is a snatch that always draws a snatch. It also blocks 3. That's the best way I've ever heard it described. This is a great card, and we're looking to play a lot of 0 for 4 arrows in our list because we're just looking to oonga boonga people and just try to run people over as I've heard people describe it. So all right, next up we're looking at Falcon Wing. Falcon Wing is one of those cards that is pretty underwhelming, but it really allows you to have some pretty sweet hands. You can Heat Seeker into this, and it's an automatic 0 for 3 with Go Again, which means you don't have to trench something away if you have a 6-card hand. Falcon Wing is a great card and definitely a staple of this deck. Hamstring Shot is one of the flex slots. I think that Hamstring Shot is like a pseudo Frostbite effect. It's really good against Bravo. It's really good against Lexi. It's really good against Azalea. Hamstring Shot has a lot of play into a lot of matchups, in my opinion. Like any aggro matchup is pretty good. If Briar's looking to, you know, block 8 or 9 and then throw a 0 for 4 at you, Hamstring Shot, if it hits at all, really helps with that and can put you in a pretty good spot. Heat Seeker, just get a potential for a 6-card hand or a 5-card hand, depending on what your hand looks like. So just a really good arrow. Infecting Shot. This is the powerhouse card. We got blue and red at this slot because this is just a really good card. It's a 1 for 4 at blue and a 1 for 6 at red. And, you know, the on-hit Pox token is super relevant. And if you're trying to pair those up, you can really make some stuff happen. Originally in our list, we were on red Icequake. We had debated doing yellow Icequake, but then we decided to go to Premeditate. Premeditate kind of helps you in the Icelander matchup, and it's also a 0 for 3 buff against the aggro matchups, and it gives you a Ponder token. So it allows you to block a little bit more aggressively and play a little bit more recklessly with your hand, and you can still arsenal a card depending on if your cards hit or not. Remorseless is a great card, really good in the Bravo matchup, really good against anything that's really looking to arsenal defense reactions. It's also very good in aggro matchups because against Fi, this thing's like a 1 for 9. Like, this thing's really good. This thing's just, like, insane. This is a great card, and I really like to see this card. Searing Shot, like, is a staple in every Lexi deck that play, like, any Ranger, basically. Searing Shot's just a 0 for 4 with on-hit lose a life. So it's basically a 0 for 5. Blue and red there because we like the 0-cost card, the 0-cost section of that. 3 of a kind. This is basically just a carrion husk. You block 6. You pay 1, you like pitch a blue and then play 3 of a kind and still have a pretty good turn. Or if you're in a really bad spot, you can block 9, trench away your arsenal, then play 3 of a kind. So you have some pretty explosive turns you can set up there. Withering Shot, great into Fi and Katsu, anything that's playing Kodachis. Also good into Azuri, and it's very good in the mirror and against Azalea. Withering Shot is definitely like a staple that we decided we wanted to have in our deck, and I'm really looking forward to like seeing how Withering Shot does this weekend, because this is a 1 for 6 at the end of a chain, and it really turns into a 1 for 7 or a 1 for 8, depending on what your opponent's hand looks like. Codex of Frailty. Everybody knows this card. Codex of Frailty is insane. This card's a 0 for 7 or 8, depending on what we're looking at here. Like Codex of Frailty is just really good. It's just an insanely powerful card that this is a 3 of an automatic in every Ranger deck, in my opinion. Rain Razors, I mean, you want this card to be a 0 for 6. It doesn't block because it's an instant, so there is some downside there. But Rain Razors being a 0 for 6, if you play patiently and if you set up and play correctly with Lexi, Rain Razors will be a 0 for 6 pretty much all the time, and occasionally a 0 for 8. 0 for 8 Rain Razors is absolutely insane. That's pretty much when you've just got your foot on your opponent's throat and you're just trying to end the game at that point. Rain Razors is a sweet card and looks to have some very explosive offensive turns for us. Frostlock is a neat card. This card is actually pretty cool against like a lot of defense reaction decks like Bravo and Azuri, because it makes them cost 1 more, and it also has the upside of, you know, against like Fi and Lexi and like other matchups, you know, like if it hits, it's a 1 for 4 with Go Again if you fuse, and if it hits, they can't play or pitch things would cost 0, and that's very important against some decks. So Frostlock's definitely a card not to sleep on. There was a reason it has a red M in the bottom of its text box there. Winter's Bite's just a really good card. Helps us fuse with Frostlock. Takes cards out of hand. It also taxes with Lexi's ability in the arsenal. And it's also insanely good because it's just a blue. And it just gives us extra resources. So that's really our 60-card main deck that we've put together. And then we have all of our matchups. You can find those in the link in the description below. Let's move on to our sideboard. I talked earlier about how we have Null Rune Gloves and Perch Grapplers. We decided that we think AB2 is enough here, and we have Perch Grapplers in a lot of matchups because this card is a block 2. Stop a Kyloria hit if you're in a bad spot. Stop a Snatch if you only want to give up 1 card. Like, there's a lot of situations where you can like really use Perch Grapplers to be very advantageous to you. It's very helpful in the Bravo matchup. It allows you to give 2 cards and that to cover up a Crippling Crush if you need to, so you can keep 3 oak and a blue. Just kind of set you up with some pretty explosive turns. Arctic Incarceration. This card is a 0-cost, tax your opponent with 3 Frostbites. If it was in your arsenal, it's 4 Frostbites. Arctic Incarceration is like aggro matchup nightmare. It's a really good card. I love to see this. I wish it blocked 3, but it would be broken if that was the case. So, you know, a 0-cost, give your opponent a minimum 3 Frostbites, maybe 4. This is a very good card that if you have a card in Arsenal, you can block 9 and then play your Arctic Incarceration and then try to take the turn back. So gives you a little bit of play there. Battering Bolt has a lot of explosive potential against all these decks that are playing like defense reactions. I really like codexing Battering Bolt back and throwing it for 6. Like, it's one of those things that, like, I'll Remembrance in against Bravo because I think it's very good late game, and being able to play more than 2 of them is very valuable. Battering Bolt is a card that I think is not getting enough respect right now, if you want the truth. I'm a pretty big fan of Battering Bolt. Plus, it's a popper. Win, win, win. Make the poster into the t-shirt for all you Office fans out there. Command and Conquer. Nothing needs to be said about Command and Conquer. There's a reason this card is, like, it's been $100 since I got into the game. I'm pretty sure it's like 70 or 80 bucks right now. Command and Conquer is insane. Like, just read the text box if you need to know more about that. Down and Dirty is an interesting card. I like that you can block with it from Arsenal because it gives you some play. If your last card is a Down and Dirty, you can Arsenal it and then pop somebody's dragon, or you can just block 2 with it, or it's also a 2 for 6 if you need it to be. So Down and Dirty has a lot of versatility, and I think this is a card that's maybe not worth the $20 price point that it is right now, at least the last time I checked, but I do think Down and Dirty is very good, and I think has a very good spot in this metagame right now. Remembrance. If you've been playing long enough, you know that this card is toxic. This card is like a cancer that people can't get rid of. I hate Remembrance. I wish that Remembrance and the reason to be playing Remembrance would go away. I hate Remembrance. I hope it gets gone. But unfortunately, we're stuck with it. Remembrance is really good against Bravo. It's also good as Icelander because it's a 2 cost. I really like bringing it in to take out some of our reds. Helps make our resource curve a little bit more efficient. So Remembrance has a lot of good play. Yellow Winter's Bite is a 2 of is pretty sweet. I like the taxation that it comes up with. Flipping this off Lexi to give your opponent a Frostbite, then taking a card out of their hand at least, is very good. And against Redline Dromite, most of the time they just discard a card, which means it's not just a card out of their hand, it's a card out of their deck. And if they give you 2 cards, it's pretty good for you. So Winter's Bite's a really cool card, and I think yellow Winter's Bite is kind of like our tech in some matchups. And I'm a pretty big fan of this card, and I'm hoping to see it really shine this coming weekend. And then blue Drill Shot. This is our 17th blue. We want this in the Icelander matchup. It's also a 3 block into certain matchups, so it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. It's a really solid card, and that's just overall, like, that's the list. Like, this, we put a lot of time in testing and, like, honestly, like, blood, sweat, and tears into this list. I feel really confident with our list. I feel really confident that we're going to do well with it. I'm really hoping, I've said this on stream a couple of times. I won't be satisfied with anything less than a top 8. And I mean that very wholeheartedly. I'm looking forward to nationals and seeing everybody. And at the end of the day, it's like Flesh and Blood is a card game, and I'm there to have fun. But I'm very competitive, and I'm there to win. This is something that I spent a lot of time on, and I'm really hoping to see those results pay off this weekend. All right, guys, there you have it. That's our Lexi deck inside and out that we'll be playing at nationals. I feel really confident about the deck. I'm really looking forward to playing the deck. Again, if you guys see me at nationals and you recognize me, please come say hi. I'd love to meet you guys. I'd love to talk to you guys. I like meeting everybody that I've met and become friends with, just over the last, year and a half. It's just, Flesh and Blood is a fantastic, wonderful community, and I'm really looking forward to making some new friends this coming weekend in Vegas. So, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you guys got any questions, or if you think I missed anything, hit me up in the comments below. I'd love to see what maybe you think I missed, or maybe if you have different opinions about Lexi. I'm not afraid to banter it out. I like to have some friendly banter about decks and cards and things you might like to see differently. If you like the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Take it easy, guys. I'll see y'all next time.